AI has been an incredible blessing to our society and has brought a lot of great things with it. But along with those good things are definitely some challenges, including some escalated threats of civil unrest and chaos.
In today's video, we're going to talk about some actionable steps that you can take to turn your home into a sanctuary of safety. Hey, Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene, and today is our first to-do video in our series on how to prepare for the threats that have been escalated a bit because of AI. And so today we're going to talk about securing your home. Your home is your sanctuary. You need to be physically, spiritually, and emotionally safe within the walls of your home. And because of AI, we definitely have some elevated threats that we need to look at. Threats that would cause chaos and social unrest, which could affect the security of your home.
Most definitely. The first of those is mass unemployment and automation, and we talked a little about that, but there are a lot of jobs being lost now because AI does the work.
When people get desperate, it can definitely result in civil unrest and some chaos. The second is deep fake disinformation campaigns. And that is when the AI can create, well, and these are all bad actors having AI create them, right? It's not AI itself that's bad. So as these, like say a politician, AI can create something and this person can be saying something that's totally not true and have a huge reaction and uprising because of it. So that's the second one.
The third one is social media manipulation. And obviously AI can be very involved in that. Again, we're talking about bad actors using AI, but the end result is the same.
And how about the financial system? But if you go to get your money out of the bank tomorrow and it's not there.
Or right? Maybe there's an AI information campaign that causes markets to crash. And I mean,
there's so many
who knows?
Things.
There's so many different ways this could play out.
And then there's information cyber attacks. And what about a food system disruption? I mean, there are just so many things that could put you at risk in your home. So today we're going to talk about hardening your home and securing your home so that your odds of staying safe, no matter what's going on in the world around you, are significantly increased.
As is usually the case, there's not just one solution. We like to think of it as layers of protection, different things that we can do that will really make a difference and that will work together to help us feel peace of mind and secure our property.
The first thing is to make your home into a less appealing target. We don't want you to look like the most valuable home on the street.
The second is deterrence, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
The third is physical barriers. For instance, the security door, something that's going to physically stop someone who wants to forcibly enter your home from being able to have easy access.
The fourth is what we call intruder inspection, where we play like we're the criminal. We're looking for vulnerabilities, we're looking for weak spots, and this is something that we can do as a family.
And we want to secure our valuables, and we might need to get a little bit creative with that, but we want to make sure that somebody who's coming into your home can't have easy access to your most valuable possessions.
And of course, we always want to focus on community. Community provides us with so much protection. As we get to know our neighbors, we know who we need to be careful of. We know who our friends are, and we're working together. It might include things like a neighborhood watch program or just a general communication effort so that everybody can be informed of what's going on and be available to help if there's a problem.
Let's talk about deterrence. So deterrence can be very inexpensive and very powerful. Let's talk about a dog. If you walk someplace and their dog is just yapping at you through the fence, you might not want to enter. Same thing if you've got a dog running up to the front door, they might think twice. But even a sign that says beware of dog might have a similar effect.
Or a sign that says insured by Smith & Wesson. There's a whole variety of things that we can do here, but they are deterrents.
Or smile, you're on camera. Or alarm system in the window, you can do alarm system. It doesn't mean you have to have an alarm system, but it can be a deterrent. Good lighting, so we can't be doing things in the dark. We want good lighting around our house, and that's a great deterrent. One of the things that we have are thorny bushes.
Yeah.
And some of those, like the black raspberries, they are wicked thorny and definitely a good deterrent.
As are cameras. Cameras, and sometimes even just a fake camera is enough for someone to say, no, I don't want to mess with that.
One of the things I love about our camera system is that I can watch what's going on everywhere around my house from the safety of inside my home. So if there's somebody out there, I don't have to be out there to know what they're doing, and I can call for help or position ourselves and be ready to take care of whatever the problem is. So the cameras really are a good thing, but if you can't afford a camera system, going to some thrift store and mounting a dummy camera can be effective too.
And similarly, alarm systems and signs that say there's an alarm system in place.
So let's move to physical barriers. Now, I know we've talked about my security door before. I spent a lot of years saving for my security door and wrestling back and forth with it because it's a chunk of money. But one day we had some salesman come into our home, and I opened the door, and he just like pushed his way into my front room. And we have a small home. So if you come in my front door, you are in my home. And that just let me know that I need a barrier between me and that person. And that security door does that. So I can open my door. I can see the person that's out there. They can't see me. I love that about our security door. And they don't have access to me. I think that that's really valuable. But we've got other things around our house too. We installed window film on all of our windows. It's not like it's going to prevent somebody from coming in, but it is going to take them longer.
And make noise that will, make them maybe not want to stick around.
We also have on some of our basement windows, we have bars. Now you've got to be careful that you have egress. If there's a fire in the home, you've got to get out. So you've got to think about the safety piece of it. But those windows were levels that somebody could kick in and gain access to our home. So we were vulnerable that way. We also have window well covers that are secured. And if you need to escape, there's a latch that you can unlatch them. But somebody who's trying to break in through that window well can't gain access. And so that's been really comforting for me because I don't have to worry about somebody coming in from the back. But quite frankly, if somebody was in our yard, we would know because of the dogs. Or the cameras, right? Because the other thing about our cameras is that they have alarms on them. I can set the alarms so that they will detect motion, and they're smart, so they'll detect a person versus the animal, but they will go off at whatever I set that time. So if I want to make sure between 10 and 6, anybody in my yard I know about, that's what those alarms are for.
One of the things that we really like is the Dorcade, and there's other devices you can use, different kinds of wedges or props, different things that will secure your doors. And these give me a whole lot of comfort because they are very, very, very useful and very effective.
And one of the things that I like about the Dorcade is we actually don't have it on our external doors because we have them secured in other ways. But on my master bedroom door, we have it so that is my safe room. If somebody gains access, if I can get to that room, I can put up the Dorcade and give myself a few extra minutes so that I can get my persuader ready, call for help, whatever I need to do, but it gives me a safe room. So think about developing some kind of a safe room in your home that you could have a few extra minutes to prepare. And you need to make sure that that room is stocked with the things that you might need.
And think about any other physical barriers that might really be effective in just keeping you safe.
All right, now let's talk about the home inspection. One of the most important things that you can do is to keep your doors locked. Well, if you have kids, they're not really good at that, right? But if we get the family together and then we do a home inspection and we say, look, let's go and let's see where anybody could break into our home, and challenge them without breaking anything to break into your home. And you'll see that maybe windows left open, right? And then they're like, oh, I see. Or doors that are unlocked. The education that occurs when you do that is really valuable, especially with children. But even for us, if you're going through and you're checking all your doors and seeing, oh, you know what? Maybe this door handle needs to be replaced. It's not as strong as it used to be. Or there's all kinds of different things. But just taking the time to look at your home through different eyes can make a huge difference. One of the other things you have to be really careful of is what is visible to those on the outside. If your garage door is left open, what are they seeing inside of your garage? Do you have like new power stations that are still in their box that look like a high ticket item? Or are the boxes in your garage, are they either unlabeled, like bins or something, or say grandma's recipes or something like that? Can they see through your window at night? Make sure that you're drawing those blinds. One of the things that I really like about the window film that we installed on our windows is that during the daytime, you can't see in our house. It's reflective. And so that's really comforting. But at night, if those blinds aren't drawn, you can totally see in our house. So we're really careful about that.
When you do this inspection, just find those vulnerabilities and let's get them fixed.
Now, another thing that you can do is to secure your valuables, because if somebody does make it inside your home, you don't want them to have quick and easy access to the most valuable things that you have. Now, for us personally, our valuables are our family. Most people who come inside our house, they're going to look and say, oh, there's a thrift store in here, right? We don't have a lot of high ticket items. But what we do have is some very precious people. And that's one of the reasons why we have a safe room. But let's talk about your food storage. It would be a really good idea if people are really hungry out there and they're trying to get to food, don't put it all in the same place. Distribute it. Maybe you want to have a few different caches within your home where you've got some of your valuables stored. And if you have a safe, if it's a smaller safe, maybe you should anchor it to the ground so they can't just pick up the safe and walk away with it. Just whatever you can do to make your valuables more secure. Now, we do have a post on this. It's actually a really good post, and I've got all kinds of different ideas about ways that you can secure your valuables. I'll leave a link to that, along with one that we just created that has a huge list. So in just an apartment, the things you can do. If you're renting a home and can't do a lot of permanent changes, there's ideas there. And then there's ideas for if you do own your own home and you can make a lot of changes. And the list starts with inexpensive things that you can do that don't cost much money. And then it moves on to some of the more expensive ones. Think about this. How much does it cost to make sure you're locking your locks? To make sure that you don't have your key hidden under your doormat, which is really not a good idea. Make sure that you've done what you can do that is really inexpensive to secure your home. And you've got to do it now because this risk is escalating. I hope none of this ever happens. But by taking time today to do what I can make a huge difference. Even if it's just having my neighbor learn and me develop a relationship so that we can watch each other's homes and we can look out for problems.
Your home is your sanctuary. And right now is the time to take care of these things. Let's take some steps to make ourselves less of a target and more safe.
And now for the question of the day. I want to hear all of your ideas and what you've done to make your home more secure. Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.